East meets West is something I'd never really fully appreciated. And that's why having CoreNet here in the region is such an amazing achievement. That's why I love CoreNet so much. I get to actually meet our competitors and the investors and the developers as well.
2.5 years have gone into us talking about that. What is the future of work going to be like? There were a lot of assumptions. We were trying and testing. I think now is the time that people are talking about results.
So we've done corporate real estate 2020. I'm back in probably 2015, and it was quite interesting to see where we hit the mark and where we were completely off. I think over the last few years, we've had a real seat at the table. There have been a lot of questions about what real estate can do in terms of driving greater attendance into the office. How do we build more collaboration? How do we develop those personal connections that we sort of missed the last few years?
Experience in all environments being looked at in really unique ways. I mean, sometimes it's about art, sometimes it's about sound, but in the past, it would always be very amenity focused. I mean, what do I as an employee get to experience or get to have when I come to the office or to the work environment?
So the biggest shift I've seen is it's the type of office that's changed. So, the demand for kind of lower grade offices has definitely decreased, but I think there's much more of a demand now for grade A office space and office space that is intentionally fitted out for the occupiers. They may have a combination of collaborative spaces, soft seating, meeting rooms with a higher spec of AV equipment, etc. So I think we're really seeing a higher demand for people to have that base office, natural light coming in, higher ceilings. It's a space that it's got to be a space that people want to go to, rather than these amazing offices that they're building in their homes where they're lucky enough to have enough space for that. I'd really like people to take away that you do have to be intentional about your strategy going forward. So I'm definitely seeing a change, and I think personally that comes down to behaviour shifts. People have had a prolonged period of time to really truly understand what it is that they gain from going to a physical space.
So I think a lot of organizations are taking a step back and saying, okay, let's look at our whole portfolio and let's look at our entire workforce and figure out what the balance is between how much space we need, what those spaces are actually being used for, what our people are doing, and what do they want, right? I think it's really important to understand this idea of partnership between flex providers, end users, landlords, developers.
Flex workspace allows people to have space that they can expand and contract into based off of their needs. It gives them the ability to have shorter term leases. It gives them the ability to step into spaces that are already curated and have furnished space that they can easily just be able to step in and start doing their business. We actually call them licenses. They're not leases. And so that can be anywhere between 6 months and 2 years typically. They're not signing 5 and 10-year leases.
I think you'll see flex providers taking more space. I think organisations, we're one that has relied far more on flex as we've reshaped the portfolio. I still feel that if there's quality products in the market, the lease market will stay strong.
Here in the Middle East. So what we're seeing is that leases are starting to increase in length, and that's quite unusual and often counterintuitive, because in the rest of the world they're still declining. So what you're seeing is landlords responding to that and increasing the level of the multiple levels of flexibility they can offer you, from pay-as-you-go spaces by the hour to spaces you could take by a month, or meeting room spaces, innovation spaces. That's giving people confidence to take longer leases in higher quality buildings, investing them in them all, really focused on the experience, so that when people come to those offices, they really, really enjoy that experience.
I think for sure employees are more willing or eager to go to the office in the Middle East and Asia. We just live in smaller spaces in general. And so, and the family dynamic, the way that the residential ecosystem exists is also just very different. So in a lot of places, you have literally multi-family living in the same place. It's not necessarily conducive to work, because if all of a sudden everybody's working from home, we're at 100% occupancy and have a waiting list here in Dubai, and in Abu Dhabi, we just opened 100% occupied, which is why we're opening another office in a different tower in ADGM. We need more space. So I think that the office is here to stay for sure. And people are coming back, but they're coming back for different reasons. And so that means that the way that the office functions needs to change. So I think 2024 is going to continue to see an increase.